This is Ahmed, the Balahdan Show. We're doing our 30 podcast now in the last month or so, almost every day. The Saturday, the 23rd, I think. And thinking about Christmas and festivity. No, there is no mood for, celebrating Christmas. But I was wondering this morning, what if Jesus was born today? He would have been born under the rubble in Gaza, because that's where he was born. But what would Jesus say? What would Jesus do when he see all these destructions and how his children are misbehaving and committing the biggest sin? I would think Jesus would say, "Free Palestine, free my birthplace." And the idea that Biden said, "I'm Zionist and we need to create the Zionist movement," if it wasn't there, it wasn't really appeal for the Jewish votes. I don't think this is. I know he said it during a meeting with the AIPAC, but I think he's appealing to the Christian Zionists because there are more than 20 million of them in America. Those are the real votes. This is the people who actually go votes. The Jew, there's a lot of them are liberal, and they understand the brutality, against Netanyahu and his right-wing apartheid state, but there are 6-7 million of them in America. But the Christian Zionists is almost 25 million. This is really what's going to make the difference. A lot of people think this is all because the Jewish lobby. I don't think so. And I think been always the American using this pretext of Jewish land and Jews, the only democracy in the Middle East, not the apartheid state. They have law for the Jew and law for the Arabs, about 2 million of them, or non-Jew. The law for white Jew and law for black Jew from Ethiopia, what have you. So it's not a democracy there. The military is making the call, and has the final saying on jurisdiction. He's the one of a military court that prosecuting thousands of Palestinians, and no due process. Thousands of Palestinian women and kids and men are in prison with no due process or even charges. So the idea this is all happened because of October 7, it's really preposterous. That's just overkill and overreacting. It's not 9/11 by any stretch of imagination. The Israelis, even before 48, they've been killing and coming and destroying villages and committing atrocities, scaring, even propagating atrocity that didn't even happen. So they scare out millions or hundreds of thousands Palestinians who left their lands, who left their houses, and they've been refugees in Lebanon and Jordan and Syria, everywhere else. 6 million Palestinians are refugees somewhere. It is just an amazing. That's a lot of people not paying attention. All they hear the Zionist narrative, even the Western media, they are just looking the other way. Atrocity. All they focus on is what happened with Hamas. Hamas did this and Hamas did that. Hamas committed violence. That's that I'm not saying, but the state of Israel's violence is way, way bigger and more massive for the last 70 years or whatever, destroying villages, destroying towns, wiping out a neighborhood. So what would Jesus do when he come and see this? What would Jesus say? And would he celebrate his own birth day with millions of people all over the world? This is going to be a very different Christmas. This is Christmas commemorating another Palestinian that he was condemned and he was crucified, more than 2,000 years ago. And now over a billion people are celebrating his birth. But if Jesus was born today, he would have been born under the rubble in Gaza. Think about that. So this is really kind of a Christmas card to all the Palestinian and the victims in Palestine and a lot of Christian Palestinians over there. A lot of church been destroyed in Gaza. And the head of the biggest church in Ramallah, refused to celebrate Christmas. And so a lot of things happened in this area. It did not start on 9/7. So I'll leave you with that, but think about this. What would Jesus say? What would Jesus do if he come and look at this atrocity and genocide and a second Holocaust to a Palestinian in Gaza? And this is his birthplace. It's under the rubble, under destruction of the most vicious, savage killing machine supported by the Americans with the most sophisticated weapon. Bombs of half a million ton bomb dropped on buildings and hospitals, and the media talk about it as if the Israelis are being careful. They are trying to avoid killing civilians. When you drop a half a million tons of explosion, you're not careful. The bomb there's no such thing as smart bomb. This is just imagination. So this is a fallacy. It's a misnomer. It is atrocity. It's a travesty from the West, from the Western media, that they are not investigating what's going on, what's happening in Gaza. They just buy into the Zionist narrative. And the Biden administration is buying into this and supporting Israel, give him the most sophisticated weapon to try them on the Palestinian. Now, wait. The price of weapons, they're going to go up. And the sales of weapons, once it is all said and done, are going to go up. And what happened in the last couple of months, it's going to be like a trade show. It's going to be like a slideshow to promote this new system of weaponry, new system of destruction, and trying this on innocent civilian in Palestine. Okay, follow us on Ahmadiyya podcast and Ahmadiyya TV channel, and give us feedback. Let us know what you think, and if any other things we missed, inform us. Let us learn about this. But don't forget, Zionism is another form of terrorism. It's an apartheid ideology excluding non-Jewish out of their own land, like they never exist. And they were 96% of inhabited of Palestine in 47 were Palestinian Arab, mostly Muslim, and 6-7% Christian and 6-7% Jew. Now they are scattered everywhere. 60 million are refugees, and what the Israelis military got Israel into, it's just there is no military solution to the Palestinian problem. There have to be a political solution, independent sovereignty, able with port, air, airports, control the water, land, making their own decisions. It's the only way this is going to be solved, that you have an independent sovereignty Palestinian state next to not a state like what Oslo and all this peace process that they want to give a state to the Palestinian without army, without police, without airport, without ports, without any sovereignty or ability to make any decision, just controlled by the military, Israel's military. What kind of state is this? That's what got us to this. That's what got us to October 7th. It's not going to go away. You wiped out Hamas, the son and daughter of Hamas. There will be another national resistance. Hamas, the people who are fighting, the thousands of young Palestinians who are fighting the overwhelming military invasion and occupation now in Gaza, are the sons of people who already killed in 2006 and 2014, who are the son and daughter. It's not religion, it's not Hamas, it's not Islamic military. No, it just, if it wasn't anybody else, British, non-Jewish, Christian, even Egyptian, and they've done the same thing the Israelis do, there will be the same resistance. It's not because they are Jewish, because they are occupier, they are racist, they are apartheid, they are oppression. That's why. It's just happened to be Jewish. So it's not anti-Semitic to resist the Zionist project. It's not anti-Semitic to demand freedom for your own people in your country. So I'm going to stop there, and I'll wish you, everybody, if you're going to celebrate Christmas after all this, I don't know how you're going to enjoy your Christmas. And see you in the next podcast. This is Ahmed Tharwat, Ahmedia Podcast. Follow us and save, and we'll see you. Assalamu alaikum, and God bless you. Christmas